Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler's WPblab. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
It's
It's
Tuesday. It's Thursday on Tuesday.
so today is a random episode where we wanted to make sure that you folks at home that listen and watch and interact with us actually got an episode out. So last week we did community connections. Bridget and Jen were able to do that, and that went really, really well. But I wanted to not skip another week. I mean, we've skipped a couple weeks just because of WordCamp US and all that fun stuff. So I know for the folks that are watching this probably a year from now going like, what are you talking about? But I just wanted to kind of address the concern of what's going on. So typically you can watch this show live if you want to. Go over to WPwatercooler.com and you can click on the links there to go and find us. And then while you're there, we do this show at 7:00 Pacific on Thursdays. So feel free to come by and take a look at that. So it's funny that we came up with this. I came up with this, Bridget, but this idea of having to do this a different day. So today's episode is episode number 89, and it's marketing around the holidays, a conversation. And we're going to converse a little bit about this and talk about how people can go about doing marketing around the holidays. So before we get all into that stuff, Bridget, tell everybody about you and where they can find you.
Hi, everybody. I am Bridget Willard. I am a social media marketing manager, a consultant, and an educator. You can find out more about me at BridgetWillard.com. But I'm also doing a crazy thing and testing out Gutenberg on GutenBridget.com. Yes, you heard that right, folks. GutenBridget.com. There's been 2 GitHub issues. The marketer who never used GitHub is now filing GitHub issues. So go check it out, GutenBridget.com, and test out Gutenberg for yourself. It's coming in April.
Nice. I need to go and get like JasonTucker.blog or something for site for me to play around with. Well, that's awesome, Bridget. That's awesome that you're doing that, and it's cool that you wanted to spin up a new site and just kind of play around with it, so you don't break your own stuff, and you can just have a place to test in production, as a lot of us developers really hate to do. But it's awesome that you're able to do that, because who cares? It's just some website. You're throwing some stuff on there, and you're gonna move some blocks around and wait till everybody comes up with some cool stuff, right?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I was going back and forth with Brandon Dove last night on Twitter, and he was doing it in a developer environment, having not the issue that I have. So that's great. But as we know, developer environments are in a vacuum. They're a developer version of being inside of a clean room. That's not real life. Real life is when you're on a host. So yes, I spent $120 on Bluehost, and I said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to use this, and let's break it and fix it and try it out and let people know, because it is going to be a really great experience. I do believe in the project, but I'm for like, okay, so I'm the ideal candidate to use this. I'm a writer, and I write, awesome. And I use Medium. So let's do it.
Sweet.
Boom.
Sweet.
I already have 2 blog posts. I hated it with 2017, so I'm using the theme bookmark.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, a little bit about me. How about that? My name's Jason Tucker. You can find me over at JasonTucker.blog. I'm just using straight up Beaver Builder over there, so feel free to go take a look at that. And my site is JasonTucker.blog. My Twitter is at JasonTucker, and that's where you can find all the stuff about me over there. So let's talk a little bit about marketing around the holidays and talk about it a little bit. So I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this week. I was like, I work at a church. We do tons of stuff with this. We're either scheduling stuff, we're writing things, and we're going to just copy and paste organically, just post this stuff in there. Full manual effort. We have things that just will automatically kind of happen as well. And I wanted to kind of talk about how you can market around the holidays, not just for like Christmas, but for any holiday.
Right.
And if you noticed in the social media stuff that I posted on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, I hashtagged the heck out of it with like New Year's Eve and Kwanzaa, and I put everything in there. So the reason being is that, you either want to respect everyone's holidays, or you don't respect everyone's holidays and you go ultra generic, or you just don't really care and you're saying, hey, it's a winter thing, yay, winter, and then you talk about that.
Right.
Or the other thing about winter is it's not winter on the south side of the planet. So
technically winter is like when the sun crosses the Tropic of Capricorn, which is on the 21st.
Right, right,
So we're
exactly.
very close to winter. We're 2 days away, people. Brace yourselves. I'm wearing socks,
Winter is coming.
sweatpants. I'm freezing. It's like, I don't know, 57 degrees in Dana Point. I cannot get warm. My heater's on. This is what winter looks like for me. I was talking to a friend who lives in Jamaica. Jamaica, December is 85. So Canada, it's like, what is it? 2 degrees Celsius or something? Sorry, not sorry. I don't know. It's all relative, right?
So I think that's kind of the interesting take on this, is that you gotta know who your customers are, who the people are going to be interacting with your stuff. If you're a US only business, super duper easy, just pick all the US only business type stuff and go from there. You're definitely going to offend somebody at some point, because just people like to be offended for no good reason. But just find those things that kind of work for you, and then test them and see what the reactions are from them and stuff. So what have you heard, or what have you seen, or what are the things that people are talking about in the social media marketing space regarding doing like either promos for this stuff that's a Christmassy, Kwanzaa-y, Hanukkah-y type of thing? Or do you just, like, what are you hearing so far?
Okay, so what I usually advise on, and what you hear, is all over the freaking map. Okay, so your famous sign, it depends.
Yep.
That totally fits right here. What I would say to any business owner is you should do what resonates with your company culture. Because the worst thing to do is to be all like saying things that don't match. Or like, what if I said Happy Hanukkah and the 8 days are already over, but I'm so oblivious because I'm not Jewish, or I didn't bother to look it up? And then that's worse, that's worse. So I think that if you want to say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I don't even know if Happy Kwanzaa is appropriate because I don't celebrate. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it should be something that resonates from you. I always tell people their brand should be an extension of their collective personality. So it's good to do that. But the real question to me is not whether you address the holidays. It's whether you go dark during the holidays.
Yeah.
And what that means. So
Yep.
Can we talk about scheduling?
Heck yeah, we should talk about scheduling. That's my favorite thing. It's the time when you schedule something that's absolutely amazing that happens. And I actually came up with a product idea as I was driving in to sit down and do this show with you. But I'll share that in just a second. But the idea that you're going to post this, this crazy sale that's going to happen this day, and then kittens start flying out of the sky or something ridiculous happens that affects everybody, and you're sitting here sending out little tweets about, oh, we have a sale today, go check us out, oh, I hope you're having a great time, and then like the whole world's on fire, and you're like, right. You look like the total jerk that scheduled all your posts, and you're absolutely oblivious.
Right, like you wouldn't want to say this product launch is on fire when there was a fire happening. Like there's fires happening all over us in California. So many that I'm literally not paying attention. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, fire sales. You don't want to do fire sales.
You don't want to do fire sales. Like you have to be sent. This is part of the scheduling. Then that's why I like to only schedule a couple of days ahead if I can. Some clients want you to do 2 weeks. That's fine. But I try to do things that are more like super generic if I do that. But the thing is, it's not even about the scheduling as much as the responding. So I would say either schedule and respond, or either don't schedule and go dark. Like Joel, you sent that tweet from Joel of Buffer, the CEO of Buffer. We are closing our offices. We did that at WordPress Thought House. We closed between Christmas and New Year's. Matt Cromwell sent out to everybody in support. We are closed. Our families are important to us. That was a good decision. And then communicate it with them. Like we sent out MailChimps, we sent out tweets, we told everybody we're closed. Our employees and their families are important to us. So whatever you do, like what you don't want is to schedule and then never respond, because then you're like United Airlines.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you end up having a gas shortage, or some ridiculousness happens, or they close an entire airport in Georgia, for instance, and you're like, oh, it's such a great time in Georgia today. You should fly to Georgia, and then the whole place is like closed.
Right.
Great.
I mean,
Dumb.
like the airport in Atlanta, the power went
Atlanta,
out.
that's what it was. Atlanta, yeah, Atlanta,
But
yeah.
still, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're having sales, fly out of Atlanta to the Caribbean. Like, that would be bad, right? So it's about being aware and
Right.
about being, so to me, if you are posting on social media, it says you're available. And that's always on society. And I know when I was doing social media for Give, the most robust online donation plugin for WordPress, you can find out more at givewp.com.
It's like saying that.
Well, it took me a long time to come up with that speech, and I still think it's a great product. But still, the thing is, if support was available, you know where they went? Social media.
Yep.
So when we're talking about social media, a lot of times it is the last recourse. They try calling, they try emailing, they try your form on your website. Oh my God. Like, we need a whole episode on how annoying it is to go to contact us and only getting a form.
Oh, we should. And I have the perfect person to have on that episode too.
Yeah. Okay. So because that has happened to me lately. It's really annoying. But then if you do fill out the form, then respond. Right.
Yeah.
And set your form up. Right. Thanks, Jason. Okay. So the thing is that tweeting shows that you're available. And the idea of scheduling is you want it to make it look like it wasn't scheduled. Like magazine shots that look casual, that's all staged, but it looks casual on purpose. So you don't want it to look like so generic that you're that out of touch. It's actually kind of an art form, I would say.
Yeah. It's that staging of the hamburger and watching the one little bit drip off.
Yeah.
They sat there for 20 minutes waiting for the drip to occur. It's like that sort of thing.
Or
it
it's
looks
paint.
like yeah, exactly. But it's like, oh, it just so happens this happened and we recorded it. No. There's 30 people in that room all staring at that one hamburger.
Oh man.
So scheduling this stuff around the holidays, like I was saying with the church, I mean, this is our Super Bowl. So it's like we're pushing stuff out nonstop about here's the hours, here's the times you should show up. Make sure you click on the share button and tell people to come to the event. We have multiple events, multiple times, multiple showings, multiple this, like whatever. My old work, on the other hand, is like a totally different thing. So they have a massive event that happens that's multi-day, that's multi-everything, and they just schedule out all this stuff. And those are things that I've I built for them, and then they're continuing to use it. So like one of the things, just to give you an example, is their particular demographic uses Facebook in a huge way. And so we set up a Facebook event just like we do here on WPwatercooler. I wonder where they got that idea. So, on WPwatercooler shows, we put these scheduled events that happen on there, and you can actually schedule multiple days for those events. So it doesn't have to be multiple events. It's just one day with one event with multiple days that are in it.
Like
and
a movie showing.
And then you just send out the link and say, hey, share this thing. And then you could boost it, and you can do all the other things that you need to do in order to make sure that Facebook actually shares this thing out after you spent all the time and effort to put it out. So yeah, I mean, those are the types of things that that I've seen happen. I've also seen it where they'll do a separate event for each event for each day that the thing's occurring, and then they'll have custom artwork for each one of them. So that's another way to kind of go about it.
Yeah.
But getting people to share this stuff, that's the huge piece.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and that's a good part about Facebook, which you don't hear me say that sentence very often because I'm such a Twitter fan. But that is the good part about Facebook is that made me think of the karaoke that I'm going to tonight. I'm learning how to do the DJ part. It's fun.
Nice.
And so I was like, hey, where's the Facebook event for tonight's karaoke? Because what happens is if I like it and I say I'm interested, in the timeline of Facebook, you'll say to my friends, Bridget Willard is interested in an event near you. Or it'll say Bridget Willard is going to Taco Tuesday karaoke at Stillwater. And then they'll it exposes them to that. If I comment on it, then it exposes them to that. But just me saying I'm interested or liking it. In fact, the other day, even though I rarely go to Orange, it said, what was the notification I got? Yvonne Conway Williams and so and Rochelle Wise are going to events in Orange this week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what, 30 miles away from Orange at least.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, but your friends that you interact with the most are going to something in Orange. It didn't even say what it was. It just says they're interested in an event in Orange this week. And you click on that. So if you're having events that are in a brick and mortar place, or even like some of my nieces do like the Lulu Row or level 31. What is it?
31 gifts, like 31. All the handbags.
Yeah, 31, right. And so what they'll do is they'll make a sale and they'll make an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it reminds you too, because you go on the calendar, or if you're like, wait a second, my church doesn't do anything for Christmas because we're too small. What if I wanted to go to a special Christmas service? Then you go to Facebook and you start typing in holiday service or Christmas service or something, and it shows you. Like if you're having any type of holiday event, whether it's 4th of July, Christmas, or what, and you're not using Facebook's events, you're doing it wrong. It's bad. It's I mean, like I need to talk to the manager at Stillwater because there's like maybe 20 people that come, and they could be getting so many more people if they would just schedule these in advance like they do at the 80s nights. You go on 80s night and you can't even stand in that place. Now I know karaoke on a Tuesday night, it's not as like popular as 80s night on a Saturday, but the point is that we're all trained to let Facebook tell us what is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to have a hashtag to tweet it out. Of course, I love it. But events,
and the key about those events, too, is that when you're telling somebody else to share it, not only share it, but also ask them to invite other people. So if they use the invite, oh, my goodness, that happens on WaterCooler. We'll go and post something on the WaterCooler Facebook page, totally open Facebook page, and we say, hey, here's an event, go share it. And then I'll invite, say, a couple hundred people to it that are just people I always invite this stuff to. So sorry if you get a whole bunch of invites from me. But what ends up happening is those folks then go and look at it and say, oh, I'm going to share that as well. So they hit share, they'll hit invite, they'll invite their 5 key people or whatever. And then those people end up coming to this. Oh, they'll see it on their thing. So they'll get a notification on their phone. They'll get a notification on the computer, on whatever it is, and say, hey, there's an event that's happening. You should definitely come to it.
Yeah.
And so what's nice about those events is an event happens. An event is a date-based thing. So you're just saying, like, I have an event that's happening, come to this thing. So at that point, you're not like tweeting out something or sending a thing out to Facebook or any of that sort of thing on a day that something bad could have happened. Right. It's like a passive thing that you just stuck into somebody's calendar that they can look at and go, oh, there's a thing that's happening. I should definitely go to that.
And not just that, but when you are there and you start taking pictures, right?
Uh-huh.
It will say, do you want to post this on your timeline or in the event?
And since Instagram and Facebook are one and the same, getting very, very close to it, those events actually start tying together in Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you want user-generated content around your event or holiday, and some of us have personal holidays, they're called birthdays, right? Yep. So if you're going to have a party, you could do it this way too. Or like Yoast is having a sale because McHugh's 43rd birthday is today, his business partner. So they said, they had a picture of him with a bottle that said 43 on it, super clever. Some alcohol, I don't know, from the Netherlands. They said, happy birthday, McHugh. And they're having a sale because of him, right? So that was a personal holiday that they turned into a promotional event. And I think it's amazing. They did it in, they did email marketing and all that too. So when you have time-based things happening, holidays, all of my rules about blasting are suspended forever. You need to blast it as many times. We're getting pulled in so many directions. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, like it makes me too sad right now still. So I'm on a pause for Christmas. So I'm not technically celebrating Christmas. Doesn't mean I don't believe in Christmas, but like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I should wear my Christmas sweater. I don't have one. You know, like I didn't go buy reindeer antlers to wear on the show or whatever. Like that's just not me this year. But the thing is, there's still things happening around that day, you know, and then maybe that's the day you want to go see Star Wars because everybody's at home unwrapping presents, right? So you could take advantage of it in different ways. So even the apps, like a design where you use negative space as part of your graphic design, if you don't want to celebrate the holiday, you can have an alternative. Now, churches do this a lot with harvest festivals instead of Halloween, right? But you could do it anyway. Like you could um, like they what was that Festivus for the Rest of Us, right?
Right.
From Seinfeld, or Friendsgiving, or anything like that. That's could
Or
be
May the 4th. Come on, May the 4th. Everybody wants
I
to
know
be
May the 4th is
be with you.
awesome, right? So you can make a holiday up, or you can do something that's the absence of it, right? And still create that to your advantage. The point is that you treat it as it's something special, because the real reason why the marketing works around the holidays is because of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a pyramid, so it's air, food, water, shelter, and the next thing is love and belonging. Holidays, no matter what your religion or preferences are, is all about love and belonging. If you can tap into that, and your company culture and your brand culture brings in that love and belonging, then you're going to win. Olakai Sandals has this whole like aloha anywhere, but like they're they're hiring a social media manager. But I was like, if you want to outsource this, I would love it, because I love these sandals, and every time I walk in them, I feel the ohana, and that's the hashtag campaign I would do. Hashtag feel the ohana, because ohana is like that family you create,
Yeah.
and so like that's kind of the absence of, you know, maybe a traditional holiday, but you can create that feeling of a holiday. And that's when a brand wins every single time.
I mean, that's how Black Friday started. It was like, we
Right.
need to make money right now, so we want to be in the black, so let's start Black Friday. And then you end up with Cyber Monday, and you have Green Tuesday, and
Giving Tuesday.
Yellow. You have all sorts of like crazy stuff that comes up. So
Shop Small Saturday for small businesses.
yep. And so those are the things you need to know, that you need to know exist, and that you need to play off of them, or you just don't, and you don't even really think about it and go like, oh, I didn't realize that, you know, Small Business Tuesday was happening, and you run a small business. It's like, oh, you should have done that. Why not?
Well, because Shop Small, the Twitter account, is private all of a sudden. Hello, American Express. Your vision is open and your account is private. I literally wrote, it's still open. Let me see if it's still there. Like, I was like, are you kidding me now? Are you kidding me, American Express? Why would you make a Twitter account? First of all, a Twitter account should never be private. Yeah, Shop Small is still private. Welcome to the official Shop Small Twitter page of American Express. Follow along for the latest updates on Shop Small. This is Saturday. It's like the open network, and this account's tweets are protected. If you lost your damn mind, like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a cognitive dissonance. That's what you want to avoid. That's the psychological term for what you want to avoid during the holidays. Like, if I said Happy Hanukkah and the 8 days are already over, then I messed up, right? So don't do that.
Yeah. I totally agree. So what other marketing stuff? We always talk about Twitter and Facebook, but what about like email campaigns or
definitely email marketing,
any of that sort of stuff? Like what's the tactics on that? I mean, you're supposed to send this stuff like 5 days ahead of Christmas, a day ahead of Christmas. Are you doing it? I mean, if you're selling something and you're shipping it, man, you need to start telling people those days ahead. Wasn't that like a Green Monday, or there was like some type of thing where I was like, it's okay to buy this thing from Amazon because the text is green on a certain day, but anytime after that you can't, because you know you'd have to pay like next day shipping, and the UPS guy will be all mad at you.
So it depends on if you're retail or not. Obviously, a lot of our audience members are digital based, but you could do the same thing. Like I said with Yoast earlier, they made a holiday after Michu's birthday, so that you could do that, and I saw it on Twitter, but I also saw the email about the sale that they were having today. So yeah, if it's a 1 day sale, you need to backwards plan, obviously, your content calendar, or you could just say, if you're a robust company, oh, geez, dog. Hey. Sorry.
That's all right. So like, for instance, here's
if you're
one.
like a new company that, oh, geez.
So I'll give you one. So on, I'm looking on USPS's website. So USPS's website says December 19th is the last day that you can ship something first class mail. And then priority mail is December 20th. And then priority express is 22nd. And then UPS retail ground, not sure what that is, but the folks that do e-commerce stuff would know that it's December 14th. So you have those sorts of things that are happening. And then you also have stuff that happens in Alaska and Hawaii. So if you're shipping to Alaska and Hawaii, you should probably tell those folks, hey, so Alaska, December 20th is the furthest time, you got to order before then. And then Hawaii, it's December 15th. So if you do those sorts of things, that might be your way of scheduling this stuff out to know when can you hit these things at just the right moment.
And then that's like some radical segmentation. And, like a lot of that is like, they probably have a whole department that just works on email marketing because they're so huge. But like for smaller companies, like most of us are, we can just say, you know what? It's Jason's my best friend day. And so I decided that I'm going to make a sale, and anybody who contacts me on BridgetWillard.com today is going to get 25% off because I mentioned it on WPblab, and Jason Tucker is my best friend. Right. So I can make up any damn holiday I want to or sale. Right. But I didn't promote it, but you can. Right. So the thing is like, but technically you should be planning this stuff way ahead. And you and I have talked about this as far as like church goes. You plan for Christmas in the summer. Okay. So if you want successful campaigns, you need to be, and just for a joke, I'll be serious about that. If you tell me the Jason holiday, even from 6 months later, I'll give you 25% off. Just see if it works. Okay. So anyway, so that's the thing. It's like what you're doing is you're trying to get attention when everybody else is getting attention. And I probably said it before, but Old Navy is like my favorite boyfriend because I get 4 emails a day from those people. I swear to God, 3 or 4 emails every day. Like they beat Amazon on contacting me. But I don't want to unsubscribe because a lot of times they have what I want and they give me really good discounts, right? And so that's what we do. We want the email when we want it. So you have to do your subject, you have to plan, you have to do something that's really valuable, valuable enough to make them stop what they're doing and do what you want them to do. This is what we're trying to do is with email marketing and a sale or a holiday campaign like that. If it's about buying, we want them to stop whatever they're doing. It's like you're at the grocery store and you're like, oh, there's a Snickers. I am hungry. Reach and grab it, right?
Check this out, Bridget. Look at this. So these guys are saying, come here and sign up for our emails, blah, 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 right? And you go down here and, they want all the points of interest. But here's where it gets interesting. So down here at the very bottom, it says, don't need to buy Christmas. Choose delivery after the 25th and we'll donate $1.
That's awesome.
You have those sorts
Old
of things.
Navy.
Get it by Christmas? Well, then it's going to cost you more.
Right.
And then
and there's a pop-up.
And then they got the pop-up that says like, okay, you want this by Christmas? Here's what you got to do. So yeah, I mean, if you're smart about this and really look at it and say, I need to win these people over in a certain way. This is the type of stuff that you could pull off super duper easy because most of these tools are built into WordPress or are plugins that you could just quickly install and be able to make happen.
Yeah, Hollerbox, Opt-in Monster. So there was one by Patagonia that was like that. There was some campaign where they were talking about last year it was about donating to charities instead of buying gifts or something. And you know who does this the best is Charity Water. They have a happy birthday campaign. Instead of buying you gifts, you ask people to donate to Charity Water.
Yeah.
And then Facebook has been doing this lately. I think that they're hooked with Network for Good, if I remember correctly. Like a bunch of my friends were like, oh, so-and-so is doing a fundraiser for her birthday. So you go to, yeah, there you go.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Black Friday sales for the planet. Yeah.
Yeah. Super duper smart.
Yeah, because what happened is they took a brand that was popular in the 80s and they just made it relevant to the millennials.
Yeah.
Because Jason Cannell was telling me about that last year. It's like, Patagonia, how do you even know about that? Remember those jackets, Jason? They were like so popular. Like, you are cool. It was like
members
the
only.
member, right? Like the members only. But like, if you had that, those were really expensive clothes.
Yep.
And now they're like competing with Under Armour and all of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just brought themselves back into the century, like huge win, and they're helping the planet. Okay. So like you could do a lot of this stuff under the scene. You don't have to brag about that. But if you understand your audience and what matters to them, then a lot of people make purchasing decisions and hiring decisions and product decisions based upon the people whose values resonate with their own. This is not really new. It's just psychology. We just say, oh, we work with our friends. We do business with people we know, like, and trust. But it's about the values. So communicating your values in this email marketing is really important. So like if you said, we could give you 25% off, but instead we'd like to say 25% of your sale gets donated to Aspen Camp because it's a great place for deaf and hard of hearing children, youth, and adults to be together. Like you could pick a charity that nobody knows about and then talk about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like not very many people know about Aspen Camp, but they're awesome. We did a give story on them. Katie Merch, their marketing director, is awesome. I just love everything that they do. It's amazing that they have this camp for hard of hearing adults and children. They finally have a place where they can all be together and not have to worry about being understood, which is a terrible, isolating feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
So whatever the cause is that matters to you, you don't even have to say you're going to give them you're not even going to say you're going to have to give your customer, but for every dollar that you purchase or for every 25% off or whatever, you're communicating your values. You're doing something that you believe in. One of my friends, Beth, with Adventure Auto Glass, they do a donation to an animal charity of your choosing. And they rescue dogs, and that's important to them. And it goes through all of their correspondence. So that's what I meant about cognitive dissonance. So whatever your marketing is throughout the year, the holidays should just be an amplification of it. It shouldn't be like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
you
want that. You want to get their attention, but you don't want to be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, that, and even like if the person is a dog lover and the whole thing's about saving dogs and stuff, they may go and shop with you just because of the fact that you're saving dogs.
Right.
A
lot of people do, and that matters to them, right? But then all of a sudden they start talking about chimpanzees, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you talking about chimpanzees? It's not that we don't like chimpanzees. It's just all of a sudden this sounds really different and it doesn't match.
Yeah. So you have that narrative and that entire story that's lined up saying we do this, and then this happens, and now we're putting hats on dogs for Christmas, and now it's Kwanzaa and we're doing this, and now it's New Year's Eve and we're doing that, and now it's Hanukkah and we're doing that. Like you can go through the whole thing, and you can essentially embrace everybody and stick hats on all of your dogs and stuff.
Exactly, which leads us into the next platform. Amazing segue, Instagram.
Ooh, Instagram.
Instagram to me is a soft sell and it shows you what happened, right? More so than Facebook. I know a lot of people use Instagram for promotions, but first of all, it's no longer in chronological order. So it's a bad use of Instagram. And you can't really click on links unless you're advertising. So, but if you were Dana, who does this super well? I think it's Camp Bow Wow. Camp Bow Wow in San Clemente. Because my friend used Camp Bow Wow San Clemente. They have all these dogs. And I'm like, sometimes I look because I'm like, I want to see if my friend's dog Hudson is there. And that's what they did. They took pictures with Santa Claus. I'll share this in the chat. And it's super cute. It says some more of Santa's elves, and there's two dogs, like a golden retriever and a white boxer. And then somebody says, "Oh, my boys love Santa." So they're like, it's perfect because they're showing people, like they're at this daycare for dogs, right? And like if that dog could handle it, that's where he'd be. But he's can't deal with life. But anyway, you're like, oh, that's my dog. Like, that's my kid. But there's no laws about not taking pictures of dogs like there's with kids.
Oh yeah, you take pictures of dogs all day long.
Right. So you can't do that with people's kids. Like if you're a preschool, you could never do this. But with dogs, you can totally do it. And I think they do a great job of like getting the holidays down. I don't think Dana and Miguel, now I'm like, who does this well? Dana and Miguel Vet. I don't think they do it.
Well, they even hit it pretty well here, where it says most popular camper names for Star Wars edition, and they went through Luke, Leia, Yoda, Vader, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan, and Han Solo, and that's the order that they're in. It's like, how brilliant is that? I mean, they're finding the things that they can instantly relate to. That's not even a holiday. That's just an occurrence.
It's an event, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like a single thing that happens, but you could spend a little bit of time putting some stuff together. So like, here's a little Yoda thing. Here's something else with the dogs looking out the window, and they have all these little things that they can, get creative. I guess
They
is
do
what
a great job
on that.
Yeah, Cat Bauer does a really good job on their Instagram account, and that's the thing is you can do that if you have a dog that was a mascot. Like if Sully was literally my mascot, I could put a Santa hat on him, and he would be more like the grumpy cat. It was funny because we were talking with Caldera Forums, and you know how they have Cat Dara? That's Christy Chirino's cat. And then she was like, her and Josh was like, you guys should do that for Kim. I'm like, no way. They go, why not? Sully's a good dog. I go, Sully doesn't fit our brand standards. He's grouchy and he doesn't like people. But it's true, like, because everybody's like, wow, he's grouchy. He just likes pizza and laying around. I mean, there he is, just like, he's a lover and he loves you and everything, but like, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, they made it an event, and so that's what's cool is like Star Wars. Even like you could be capitalizing on that. Now things you can't do, events that are like holidays, Super Bowl and the Olympics come to mind.
The big game.
You can't even call it the big game.
I thought it was a big game.
You can't use that in your marketing. It's a trademark violation.
I thought the big game was okay, but you couldn't talk about Super Bowl.
There's a bunch of stuff you can't say. I'm sure you could look it up faster than I can remember. Yeah. But I remember talking about the Olympics. It was in Argentina or something. So I said, international games. What did I call it? There was an event in Argentina with a bunch of countries participating. And prizes awarded in a ranking order. Like it feels like taboo. Remember that game show where you have to describe something without using certain words? Mm-hmm. It's a marketing shit show. Like the Olympics should be open source, right? It's about the whole world getting together and nobody can use those words. So what is it you can't say for the Super Bowl, which is going to happen in February?
I was looking here. It's like the words that you're allowed to say that relate to the Super Bowl. And I think the rules change after a while. So, like, what was the one that's on here? Oh, let me see if I can find it. I love the one that people always use, which is having a superb owl.
Okay.
So Super Bowl, but you move the letter over, so they show all the pictures of owls. Yeah. So there's that. There's the big game before the big game. Suit up for the championship Sunday. It's like, wow. Okay, championship Sunday. Pro Football Championship on February 1st. 2 weeks to pregame coverage. So they didn't mention anything in particular there.
Right.
Yeah, so goofy stuff like that.
So it's not officially a holiday, but in America, let's be serious. The Super Bowl is a holiday. Okay? Yeah. People who hate football go to other people's houses and bring food. That is the basic definition of a holiday. You visiting somebody else for an event with food is a holiday. So yes, you can do marketing about those kinds of cultural holidays, but then remember, it's a cultural holiday. People in India are not watching the football.
The World Series of Football.
The World Series of Football. They're not.
The Pigskin Showdown.
We're the only people that call it pigskin. That's funny. And we're the only people that call it football. Football in the rest of the world is soccer. So if you're running a global company, like Yoast would never have a Super Bowl thing. If they did, that would be super stupid because they're in the Netherlands and they don't watch American football, right? But they do have customers in the United States, but they have to be faithful to who they are as a brand. So, like, if a bunch of my WordPress friends all of a sudden had Super Bowl sales, I'd be like, really? You guys go to Comic-Con. You don't even know who's playing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? But Comic-Con is a huge deal. Win 2 tickets to go to Comic-Con in San Diego with me.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing promotion for a WordPress company.
Yeah.
If I were with a giant WordPress company that had dollars for that, or even a host like Bluehost or something, I would make a contest that won Comic-Con tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Then you're in your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like some, poker thing, or some Dungeons and Dragons thing, or
there's something that's happening.
Gaming. There's always something, because there's a World Series of gaming.
Yeah.
Adam in New Zealand. What's this super chat thing? Again, point made. New Zealanders, rugby, right? Not football. Maybe soccer. But it's rugby, right, Adam? So that's what I'm saying. It's American. But if you're brick and mortar in Dana Point, then you're going to celebrate the festival, the boat parade that was last weekend, the weekend before, right?
Yep.
You're going to want people to go watch the boat parade, and you're going to tell them to make reservations so they can see it from your restaurant. So everything can scale, right? And it's about you being aware, especially local things, being aware of the things that are happening in your local community and capitalizing on it instead of being afraid. So, sheep in Lord of the Rings. That's funny.
Oh, man. So I guess other things that you could do that relates to, these fake holidays that we were talking about is things that are like adjacent to your brand. So finding, for instance, if you sell comic books, you're doing Comic-Con, you're doing Dragon Con that's over in Georgia. You have all these sort of, I think it's in Georgia if I remember correctly, but you have like those sorts of things that happen. Find those things that are adjacent to your, your brand and go, okay, we got to do this sort of thing. Right. And even getting those folks to share those sorts of things, even though if you didn't show up to the event, you could still get people to help out with that by, hold up a sign that says, your brand name or whatever, and maybe do prizes with that or something. So there's plenty of ways to kind of make those things happen. But, we've talked about social media stuff, to all those different social medias. We didn't talk about Snapchat, but just make a Snapchat filter, throw it on the building that you're in, and have that.
Here's something with all of that.
Uh-huh.
Julie and I went to a Halloween party at Smoky Karaoke at Beachfire Grill in San Clemente the day before Halloween. And they had a contest for the best costume. And we were Snapchat filters. So we had bunny ears and glitter on our faces and sequins. We said, "Happy Halloween, we're Snapchat filters." We won second place, which was a bottle of champagne, right? So they had like a bottle of champagne, a bottle of wine, and what's that German one that tastes like Ricola? That was first place.
You just offended all the Germans.
Sorry. I never call it Swiss anyway. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Jägermeister.
Okay.
Jägermeister. Okay. So anyway, like that was like the prizes, which made sense for a bar.
Right.
They capitalized on an event they always have, making it special, and then getting that stuff on social media. And then we used Snapchat, and people were Snapchatting, and there was a beach fire filter. It wasn't specific for Smoky Karaoke, but there was a beach fire filter. And I have been using Snapchat a lot more lately, and I really see the value of it for retail, because like even when I am at the 80s nights at Stillwater or karaoke, like it will be tonight, if I use the filter for Stillwater and then I say share to my story, it will also give me the option to share to the Stillwater collective story.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I did not know. It's like, so I was
friends that are all tied together as well. So they're all sharing each other's photos.
Right. So I didn't understand what the what the reason for a company to have a filter. But then when you do that, then it gets aggregated to a collective story filter for the whole group. So like we had that one for WordCamp Orange County a couple years in a row. And I was like, I don't get this, but I wasn't deeply using Snapchat enough. So if you did have an event and you made a Snapchat filter, that would be great because it makes it more fun. Usually people screenshot it and share it somewhere else anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if it's if you're trying to get user-generated content, that's a good way to say, do this and we'll give you that. Send us this picture of yourself from Snapchat. You know, send us your best filtered face with the Christmas or whatever. Send us the best video with you dancing like a Santa Claus or whatever their thing is, and we'll give you this. Like just getting them to participate and making it like a game is another way to capitalize on the holidays and make it fun. You know, because there's going to be Santa Claus things. Like I even found a hat last night. I am so behind on Snapchat. Like there's stickers. There's like a little Post-it note thing. It doesn't even look like, I would think it was a sticker, except it looks like this.
Yeah.
With a thing down. My friend Julie, who's 5 years older than me, she had to show me how to use this. Okay, but you press that, and then you get all these stickers, and it'll show you the most popular ones. I found a Santa hat. You could touch it with 2 fingers and then turn it and scale it. So I put it on Sully's head, and then the little ball at the end of the Santa hat goes like this. I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's cool. Okay, that was fun for me to do something just for my own self, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do things like that, like Christmas by, you know, like Office Depot with the elves. That is a perfect example of a campaign that became a cultural norm.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody does the elves now. So on Snapchat, you could do the same thing, but then ask them to bring your brand in to it somehow and to send it to you through some normal way, or tag you on Facebook. Like do this on Snapchat, put it on Facebook, tag us.
Yeah, using the tools that are available to show it out in another place.
I know we're getting close to the end, but I have one more example that's local.
Yeah, go for it.
So the Dana Point Harbor Association has Christmas lights. If you haven't seen the Christmas lights, they're still up. And Shine Illumination, I think, is the company that did it. So they put on this contest, and at the harbor, like in between El Torito and whatever that other store is, I should know it by now. You walk down, and there's this sign that says "Merry Kiss Me," and then underneath is mistletoe. And so you take pictures of that and you hashtag it "Merry Kiss Me," and then they pick a winner every Friday. And the grand prize is a 2-night vacation at the Ritz Carlton in Laguna Niguel, which is actually in Dana Point. It doesn't touch the ocean. It's called so anyway, but like there's other prizes like $100 gift certificates here, there, or whatever. So like Merry Kiss Me. Oh geez, I should have. It's super cute. I did it, I didn't win, but it was fun because I was like, oh, take a picture of me. This is fun. And where's the latest winner? Harbor Wine Cruise for 2 you can win. Like every week they have here's the whole thread. But like there's a sign, you can do it day or night. It's lit up. It looks like it's just so fun for they say take a kiss with somebody. Of course, I was by myself, so I just went like that. But it was fun. Like you could do something like that even for your local community, give out prizes. I thought that was a really good idea to use
Super
Instagram
smart.
for something that's happening now to get more people to go to it, which brings more business to the local businesses so they'll pay for it next year, right? Because this is the problem that Dana Point has had. I don't know if anybody's noticed. I'm sure Adam from New Zealand has not noticed this, but just in case you're wondering what's happening with my hometown, they have not had a consistent person doing the holiday lights. And I think that a lot of times the businesses go, well, this isn't bringing people in. Why are we spending money on this, right? But this has been the best so far. And I think that I think this is helping it because everybody wants to go get their picture taken under Merry Kiss Me because it's so cute.
Right. Huh.
So that's a local way to bring something. And then like, we get tourists and stuff that go away. They're like, oh, I want to go to Dana Point next year for December. That's the whole thing. It's like getting it out. But you could always take these ideas and make them local.
Yeah, find whatever little thing you can tie your brand, your environment that you're in, and kind of make that tie.
Right. And so plan it in September at the latest. Make a hashtag for it. See if anybody's using it. Start promoting it like slowly, once every week. I mean, once, like maybe send an email in September, 2 in October, 3 in November. December is like every other day, depending upon what you're trying to do. But you could get people, paying attention. You don't want the attrition. You don't want them to unsubscribe. But you do want an all-out attack. You don't want to only use Twitter. You want to use everything in your social media arsenal. Email campaigns, blog posts, which we did talk about. But say if you did win that contest, Merry Kiss Me, then embed that into your WordPress blog. Start talking about why you did this. If you're a travel blog, lifestyle blog, or whatever, start using those user-generated content. I think user-generated content to make an hour go shorter. If you finally got to this part, user-generated content is the way to win at holiday marketing.
Everyone wants their Instagrams, their Twitters, their Facebook things, their whatever it is, all embedded on your website. Go for it and do it. And I think the one thing to think about when you're doing any of those, and we had this problem with the church, especially when it comes to Instagram, is a lot of the younger folks that are the ones that really want to share this stuff typically have private Instagram accounts, and you can't do anything. You need to 100% always, obey the privacy that the person wants to have. So don't go and like copy it and then repost it or something like that. Don't do any of that junk. They don't want you posting it because their account's private. Most of the time they forget that their account's private anyhow, and they start trying to, join in on various, contests and whatever. And it's like, can't do any of, you can't promote us. So sorry, your particular, account is blocked and doesn't allow anybody to do that. So
I mean, maybe make that in your beginning email marketing. We really want you to participate, make it public.
Exactly.
I know there's always going to be a downside to everything. That's why I say you should use as much of the social arsenal that you have. Like for me, I wouldn't have only done this on Merry Kiss Me. I wouldn't have only done it on Instagram. But I'm sure they only want to look at Instagram. I would have made it also Twitter, because Twitter is mostly public.
Yeah. Well, then you go and say, well, look at all these people that have following me on Twitter, and look how many I have on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, I have 12,000, 16,000.
Probably want me to do it over here, not here.
Right. Yeah. I only have like 1,200 on Instagram, and I have like 16,000 on Twitter. Because I didn't care about Instagram that much. I've been trying to care about it. I actually like it. It's more relaxing. But a dog, a sunset, a flower, some kid, a dog, a sunset, a flower, some kid. It's very relaxing.
Ad.
Well, I don't get that many ads. I'm getting a lot of ads on Snapchat because I'm trying to learn how to look at their stories and stuff.
Right.
I think go story. Okay, I don't care about that. Skip, like you're skipping a channel, and then ad, skip. Honestly, you know what else is doing that?
Who's that?
Tinder.
Really? I've never even downloaded.
No, you wouldn't because you're married.
Yeah.
If you are, we need to
There's
talk.
ads all over it?
You go like you like a person, ad. Person, ad. Same as a Snapchat story. I know, but ads are what makes things free. Yeah. But it's weird. Like if you click the like on it, then they send you a message and you can get a coupon code. Like they're, but I'm just saying, like, you can use advertising in a good way if you're smart about it. If you're smart about it, and that's one thing I was really proud of what we did, what I did with JasonTucker.blog, is we made something organic into an ad. It was so successful time and time again that our ads would get retweeted. That's what you want. You don't want it to feel like an ad.
Yeah.
You want it to feel like they're participating. Love and belonging, user-generated content, plan ahead, go forth and prosper, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
The Tinder thing would be hilarious if like the call to action on there was make sure you tell your waitress that this is your first date and we'll give you 15% off. And then at the bottom, it says, you'll totally find out if this person's a cheapskate or not. So when you go there, you're saying like, hey, it's our first date. They're like, oh, that's so great. We'll make sure we give you 15% off. And then they walk away, and then the person you're with's like, for reals, dude, you just did that?
Super like for 10% off. Right. I mean, but you know what? Like it could be like remember the I can't believe it's not butter, darling. Fabio right. with the hair. Do that on Tinder. Ooh, that would be a really good idea.
Oh man.
Now I wish I was more creative. But anyway, like that's what I would do. Pay attention to the holidays that matter to you. Don't talk about holidays that you don't know anything about. That's worse. And be friendly.
Yep. Yeah, respect those holidays for the places that you're trying to market to, because I was talking on Twitter. It was in that thread where they were talking about this guy's like, I live in India. We have like a festival every other week. We don't do Christmas or any of those sorts of things here, but we do all these other things as well. So
yeah,
if you're going to market to us, then do it this way and not that way. And it was really, that was kind of an eye opener, because I was like, I got to share this with Bridget, because this right here just goes to show you that if you have such a global brand, like something like Buffer is, then, that's, you got to look at this and say, how do I approach this a certain way?
Right. Right. And like you have to even pay attention to their holidays. Like Devin was really smart about that at Give, because we had so many Indian developers. He made a calendar for all of the holidays so that we all knew when people would be gone. It's really smart. Like we're in a global economy. It's time to start acting like it. Right?
Definitely. So I have a call to action. I want to see if I can get some folks to help us out. So Bridget and I are constantly looking for things to talk about and people to talk to them, talk about it to other, I don't know how to say this. So we're always looking for ideas for show topics and stuff like that. So we're on Twitter. Go over to WPblab on Twitter and leave us a little @reply and just give us your favorite topic idea. I want you to interview a CEO of a shoe company, and I want to learn about how you marketed shoes using your WordPress site or something like that.
Ooh,
give us
could you imagine getting Tony Hsieh from Zappos?
Oh my gosh, that'd be sweet.
Sorry.
That would be sweet, but something like that. So give us some ideas for those things. Feel free to tag those people in it. Do whatever it is you got to do to kind of like bring us up a little bit of hype, but feel free to do that and just go in there and just say, hey, at WPblab, I'm interested in learning more about blah, blah, blah. And we'd be more than happy to put that into our docket of things to do, and we can talk about them then. How's that sound, Bridget?
I think that's awesome. We love user-generated content.
We love user-generated content.
A show by us for you.
Exactly. I love that your alarm thing goes off like 2 minutes before the show's over. So
2-minute warning for American football fans.
So go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com/WPblab. That's where you can find all the information about this particular show and all the stuff that we do here on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. And also make sure you go and take a look at all the things that we have going on over there by going to WPwatercooler.com/subscribe, where you can subscribe for this particular episode. And since we did something a little weird here, I want to give you a little tip. If you don't watch YouTube videos as much as I do, if you go onto our YouTube channel and you click on the little subscribe button, and right next to it is a little bell. Click on the bell, and guess what the bell does? The bell makes your phone go off and tells you that we went live. Now, I don't go crazy and post a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. We post 2 times a week. That's it. So if you get a little bell and it warns you and says, hey, they're going live right now, you could just quickly, you're in the middle of the grocery store, you hit the play button, you hear us talk about WPblab and stuff, feel free to do that.
Yeah, put your headphones in so the grocery store people don't get super annoyed at you. And don't do it if you're at a restaurant. Come on, you guys, with kids watching stuff.
We don't let a word drop or anything, so that's good. All right, that's about it, folks. Make sure you go over to the website and hang out with us over there. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.